My name is Antje Jackelen. I'm the Archbishop in the Church of Sweden. It's only when I look back that I realize that some stories have been powerful in my life. I think it's a combination of many stories, many encounters, many events that come together and have made me who I am. I think it happened in many steps. I mean, even as late as when I entered university to study theology, I was not the person who would say, I'm going to become a pastor. I would say, I'm studying theology, and I know that's what I'm supposed to do now. I'm going. We'll see where it goes. And I mean, maybe the first step of calling I had when I think I was rather little. I don't know how old I was, but I had been together with my father to a person showing slides from, I think it was either Tanzania or Ethiopia. So somebody working in mission, and it was a man. And I remember myself when we went home, my dad and I were crossing the churchyard, and I asked, Dad, can girls also do things like this? I don't remember what he answered, but obviously he must have answered yes. But I think something happened there. Step by step, I ended up where I am. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to be the Archbishop of the Church of Sweden. That never happened. Yeah, there was definitely no disapproval. I mean, some people may have said, oh, why is she studying theology when she could be a medical doctor or something? But no, nobody who really questioned me. And I think, again, that my father, especially, but even my mother, they approved of this choice. And my father had quite traditional views on gender roles, but he applied them maybe to everybody else, but he never applied them to his own daughter, which is very interesting. It's very interesting. I never sensed anything that from him saying, okay, but you're a woman, you should. He was always very affirmative of my path. Yes and no. Of course, every now and then I have encountered things where you would say, wonder whether this would have happened a man. And you're pretty sure the answer is no, it wouldn't. But you never can prove it. And I would tell myself, well, there is no use in like thinking of that too much. You think the thought and say, probably it's the way, but let's go on. One specific barrier, which I'm grateful for, is when I was ordained, I was supposed to go to a parish. Everything was planned, and just shortly before my ordination, the bishop called and said, sorry, you can't go there, because they are doing some reconstruction and they don't really have space for you. You are going to somewhere else. And I was very unhappy, because I mean, you have your first position, you're excited, and then it was, and I wasn't really prepared to go to this other congregation that was so different, totally different type. But of course I had to go, and it worked out in a way. And 7 years later, somebody told me, do you know why you were not supposed to go to that congregation? Why you couldn't go? And I said, yeah, well, I had some construction, there, no space. And that person said, it was the senior pastor who said in the end, no woman here. And I was happy that I didn't know that at the time, because that would have put a certain tone of bitterness to the start of. Yes, I mean it was amazing when I was elected. How many people expressed their joy, and even people sort of a little bit on the margins of the church saying, "I'm proud of the Church of Sweden," and people saying, "Who had thought this? The church is ahead of the state," because we haven't had a female prime minister in Sweden yet. So, yeah, I mean, you can find then verses in the Bible where women are in leadership, and I've always liked this the narrative of Lydia in Acts. I mean, according to that tradition, the first person in Europe to be Christian, on European soil, is a woman. She's an entrepreneur. She's an immigrant. I mean, I feel quite strongly about that. And then she's also dealing in purple cloth like this. So I have a certain bond to Lydia. Now, I mean, you can find other stories. This is the problem, that people pick a verse here and there, and they say, "I'm faithful to the Bible." But nobody is faithful. I've never found a person who is faithful to the Bible in the sense that you equally take every single sentence. Because then you cannot, you cannot wear there is mixed fabric and all these kind of things. So the argument isn't really valid. To say one verse is more literal than another. In Swedish there is, as in German, the word gratis, which is you get it for free. And of course that goes together with the Latin gratia. So sometimes I use those explanations as well. It's for free. People know what it means if you get something for free. And then the next step to say, if you get this for free, of course you become motivated to. In the best case, it really ignites your love. And this is Luther again. It's the experience of grace that inspires this love, which sort of forces us to do good to our neighbor, to serve our neighbor.